SLR Hut have great portable battery banks. Click the link in the video description to purchase one for yourself.
Alright ladies and gentlemen, it is your boy Ryan Thomas here with Failtech, and today I'm going to be reviewing the iPhone 6s Plus. Now I did buy this around 5 or 6 weeks ago, and I did pay a lot of money for it. It's the most I've ever paid for a phone, times 2 I believe, or times 3. This is an incredible amount of money I spent on a phone, and I wanted it for a couple of reasons. Firstly, it comes in pink, or rose gold. And secondly, because I've had many iPhones and I've also had many Android phones. And although I was looking at, the Galaxy S7, which was a little bit out of my price range at that stage, and I was looking at the S6 Edge Plus, I was looking at the One M9, I was looking at the Nexus 6P, and I was looking at all those, and I just thought, why not go back to a little bit of simplicity? I use MacBook Pro. I also have my desktop behind me, which I use for 99% of the things. But I also use my MacBook Pro, and I really like the simplicity and the continuity that I had with my iPhone 6 with that. And so I thought, why don't I go with something really, really kind of high-end, and I spend a lot of money and see how long I can make it last, because I want a phone that I can leave for like 3 or 4 years without having to buy another one. I think the longest I've actually had a phone is the Nexus 4, and that lasted me 2 years. And I've had phones on and off in between time. So yeah, first thing that I'm going to say I really like about this, because I'm going to get straight into it, is the screen. 5.5 inch 1080p. It is the ideal size. Now Moses, shout out to you bro, who watches my videos. He actually just likes some Instagram photos, so nice one. But yeah, the screen, it's a 5.5 inch 1080p panel, and it looks absolutely stunning. Viewing angles are perfect, the screen size is perfect, and this was coming from a 4.7 inch size screen. And I really do like the screen bump. I think 5.5 is my home. I've used that on the LG G3 and on this now, and I think it's just brilliant. That 5.5 is such a good medium because it's not massive and it's not small. It's like a good average screen size. I can easily hold this hand with one hand. It's absolutely fine. Secondly, the second thing that I was actually surprised that I thought maybe I'd like it and it was useful, but I didn't know just how good it was, is the fingerprint sensor. Touch ID is absolutely stunning on this. It is instant. Touch ID is absolutely instant, and that's really, really useful because obviously you want less loading times. But compared to my iPhone 6, it makes such a good bump. It's such a speed increase with Touch ID, I guess 2nd gen. I don't know what you'd want to call it, but it's just so much faster on here than it was on my iPhone 6. And that's really cool, it's really cool to have an innovation, something that's a lot quicker. Now the OnePlus 2 has a very, very similar time to this, if not a little bit faster, and it just kind of proves that like fingerprint stuff is just getting so efficient. The only real thing that's holding this phone back in terms of performance in its fingerprint ability loading is the animation, because the animation takes longer than it actually does to register the fingerprint. Now thirdly, this is something that I absolutely adore about the phone, and if I didn't have this, I don't even know. That is the camera. The camera is a 12 megapixel affair that can do 240 FPS 720p or 4K at 30 FPS. Now the 4K video I think looks absolutely fantastic, and the photos look stunning. In fact, this has got to be the best phone camera I've ever used. This is on par with this is going a little bit further even than the Galaxy S6 and the Galaxy S7 and stuff. It's really, really good. The quality is amazing. And because I got the Plus model, not only because I wanted an average size screen, I actually got optical image stabilization, which looks a bit weird when you're watching it through the viewfinder, but actually does make a hell of a lot more sense because, at 4K, you're so kind of zoomed in at that point because it's such a big crop on it, you're getting a nice stable video. Front-facing camera as well, really, really good. I believe it's 5 megapixels, and in low light it's not the best, but in proper good light it looks like a good, main camera even on the front, which is fantastic. Now the flash on the back is okay, but it's not the best, and as you can see I've rigged my case out with Adventure Time stickers because I like Adventure Time. They have started to wear away now, and I just want to kind of fill the back up with stickers. But completely fresh. This has one tiny little mark, and that is on the volume switch, the kind of lock to vibrate switch, and that is the only mark I got on the device. I love the speed of this thing. The performance is second to none. It is absolutely speedy as hell. The only thing that I think beats it on Geekbench is like the HTC M10 or whatever it's called. HTC 10. This thing gets a single core score on Geekbench of over 2,500, which is beating most, if not every single flagship on the market at the moment, and its multi-core score is beating even some octa-core phones. This has 2 cores, guys, 2 cores. This has 2 cores, and it just obliterates things. It is so damn quick because of its efficiency. If they were as efficient with like octa-core and quad-core and, you know, hex-core phones as they were with this, my god, we get some performance out of those things, guys. And now I'm going to just talk about the connectivity. Connectivity is great. You know, you're getting fast AC, you're getting 4G. It's absolutely great. You know, nothing wrong with that. It's all based on your carrier and your network, of course, and where you live. But for me, I found to get 4G almost everywhere, and that's on a BT connection. And finally, you know, battery life. That is the main thing they're talking about nowadays. Maybe not finally, but it is the main thing they're talking about nowadays. This has a, I believe, a 100 milliamp hour battery, 2750 milliamp hour battery. And the longest I've ever got this thing to last is 60 hours. Over 60 hours. That's over 2 and a good bit days. You know, that's like 2.5 days or something. That is ridiculous. To me, I just don't think you can get better than this in battery life. And that is not hardware, that is software, guys. The battery is fantastic, guys. It lasts for literal days. And that's what you want out of something like this. So I would recommend, you know, the battery is just fantastic. Best in any phone. You know, the battery life is great. Now the speaker, you know, throws out some punchy kind of sound, but it's not the best. The quality is okay, but you know, it's bottom firing speaker, it's not the best. But considering its placement, it actually sounds pretty loud, and it does get pretty loud, and it does sound pretty alright. It's just, you know, not competing with like the One M8 or anything. And my verdict on it using iOS. Now, I was a big, and I still am a big Android fan. The fact that you can customize your phone in any way is the biggest thing for me, you know, because you can just make it whatever you want. And I do miss that, and I miss the NFC, and I miss the powerfulness of Android. It's just so powerful. But would I swap this for any phone on the market? To try out, I might swap it for a Galaxy S7 Edge. If I wasn't going to swap it for that, I wouldn't swap it for anything. I absolutely stand by my decision of purchasing this phone. I think it's a great phone. I genuinely do think it's a good phone. It's not the most powerful, but it just proves how much you can push out of so little specs. 2 gigabytes of RAM, half of what we usually see on a flagship. 2 cores, that's a quarter of what we see on flagships. And a battery that's okay, 2700 milliamp hours is about average, a little bit lower. And camera that is, you know, 12 megapixels sounds pretty average. It all sounds on paper like the most average thing and the most average to low end phone you've ever seen. But when you use it, you actually get a feel of just how powerful the phone is, and that is all down to software. So although, you know, it seems like such a low end kind of, you know, the software's not powerful, what are you talking about? The OS is nothing. It is insanely powerful, and that is all down to just how versatile it is behind the scenes and not to the user. And I think that's what makes this phone amazing. So I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. The only thing that is missing really is the NFC, because it does have it, but only to Apple Pay, so I don't see why, you know, they shouldn't have that. And a wireless charging. I got the 16GB model. You don't get removable SD in anything, so I just upload everything to the cloud, which is awesome. But you know, it would have been nice to get a nicer, a more highly spec'd model. But do I regret my decision? Absolutely not. I spent a lot of money. I spent all of my savings on this, and that was because my other phone broke. I'm standing by the decision. I might sell it and get another phone. You never know. But for now, I genuinely do like my iPhone 6s Plus, and I might even go out and just sell it and get a different phone to try out for you guys. But if I wasn't doing this for YouTube, I would keep this phone 100%, because this phone is absolutely amazing. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.